You can borrow the Australian bank bonds you want, and the government will never find out. And there's pyramids on the surface of Venus. Take a look at these satellite photographs. You can see everything clearly. Take a look at these satellite photographs. You pay $15 a half hour for that. That's outrageous. At some championship swimmers, you pay $15 a half hour for that. That's outrageous. At some cigarette smokers, I said, pick me up in your Malibu Classic after you drop your grandma off for her hair appointment. I said, pick me up in the Malibu Classic as the afternoon heat begins to break. Pick me up in the Malibu Classic out in front of the Eminem music. And slowly I was learning how to play Sweet Home Alabama. Slowly I was learning how to play Sweet Home Alabama. Slowly I was learning how to play Sweet Home Alabama. The Honorable Insurance Commissioner wears a leopard skin suit. She's much cooler than all these uptight health plan executives. She says, what gives? When will you give the people what they need? She says, what gives? When will you give the people what they need? And even though she's wrong most of the time, she's on your side. And even though she's wrong most of the time, she's on your side. She looks like she's got a permanent neck injury, 'cause she won't turn her head when talking to people standing right next to her. I vote for her again, the Honorable Insurance Commissioner. I know how much it means to you, and still I get it wrong. I know how much it means to you, and still I get it wrong. Lying on the floor, dreaming of motorcycles that I'd buy for $200. I know how much it means to you, and still I get it wrong. I know how much it means to you, and still I get it wrong. Lying on the floor, dreaming of motorcycles as you repair your clarinet. And vans full of jazz bands broke down each summer in St. Joe. But now when I close my eyes, all I see Now when I close my eyes, all I see now. When I close my eyes, all I see are the winter lights. I don't suppose you wanna go ice skating now. That's okay. I just break my ankle anyhow. Piano lessons, a comfortable chairs. What do I care? Voselka's mom drives a Jeep, and she coaches the girls' softball team. Somebody dumped a shopping cart in the creek. Somebody's sleeping face down on their lawn. The Keystone Community Cleanup begins at 7 a.m. Dumpsters lined up in the parking lot of the school. Somebody crashed an old bicycle through Donna Joppa's screen porch. Somebody left a full can of beer in the ditch. And you'll grow up to believe in beautiful things, like coats hanging in the closet all summer long. You'll grow up to believe in beautiful things, like storm clouds on the horizon. You'll grow up to believe in beautiful things, falling asleep in the elevator going on. You'll grow up to believe in beautiful things, falling asleep in the elevator going down. I'm sorry about how most of the time when I'm at home, I'm a pain in the ass. You should meet me out on the street. Even the cops on motorcycles can't articulate how they feel about me. And I'm sorry about how most of the time when we're alone, I'm a cranky little son of a bitch. I guess sometimes I'm just that way. One day we'll go to baseball games. Everyone will get drunk together, even dogs will smoke cigarettes, and everything again will be okay. country western albums, but in real life his hands don't work that good. In my dreams, my grandfather walks me and my dad up the road to where the photo on the album cover was shot. And we drink coffee on the front porch as my 10-year-old cousins fall in love with strangers, and they make 16mm movies about us.
Can we just start it one more time? That was a little... I gotta get the right position for my body.
I was waiting for your headlights disappearing in the dust. Fire hydrants, dogs, and police cars. I was waiting for you, beer cans tumbling down fire escape signs to save help, build gas stations on Mars. And everybody thinks they're cool on Ludlow Street. It's easier around here to believe. Everybody thinks they're cool on Ludlow Street, piling into cars as the lights go down on New Jersey. Have you used your time wisely? Because now your time is almost over. Fumbling in your pockets for the keys. Have you used your time wisely? Because now your time is almost over, and next year you'll look back painfully on the cool evening air and all the cigarettes you smoked, the coins that you lost in the payphone. And I was waiting for you Cuban shopkeepers, slamming shut the grates. You said, stand back for Christ's sake, you got to give me some space. I said, what the hell did you think I've been trying to do? There's strangers out there who love me better than you. There's strangers out there who love me better than you. I remember only the stupid things like the crooked orange light of the late afternoon, sitting on the roof of my parents' house, and you'd show up in that big blue Chevy they loaned you for the summer, so you could drive those Herzog kids around. You made jokes about your grandfather who had Alzheimer's, and you said, but really it's not funny, and I knew that it wasn't. I dreamed you left me for a midget. You dreamed I left you for a 12-year-old. The love we have cannot be touched. The love we have cannot be told. You dreamed you threw a book at my head, and I caught it square in my mouth. The love we have cannot be taught. The love we have's deeper than the deep, deep south. Drink yourself under the table. I'd live the life, but I'm unable. And who now will carry the torch as you and I stumble drunk off the back porch? Drink yourself straight into bed. I'd live the life, but I'm already half dead. Who now will raise up some cane as you and I slip delicately down the drain? It's never quite enough, and it never really does the trick, even when it is. I sure wish we had some more. I can't stand you hanging around, bringing me down when I'm fucked up enough as it is. And it's never quite enough, and it never really makes me feel better before I slump to the floor, feeling 3 times as bad. I'm beginning to suspect that I've lost all the charm that I once had. And it's the singer, not the song, that makes it worth $8. It's the singer, not the song, that makes everybody push to the front so they can see. It's the singer, not the song. Ask anyone, they'll agree. But it's not the drummer, it's the beat. It's not the drummer, it's the beat. It's not what he's wearing for shoes, it's what he's doing with his goddamn feet. dreamed I was a heroic, itinerant musician. It's easier than fishing, and people said to me. And the girls who I once knew now are registered nurses. Plastic silverware in their purses. I dreamed I was a heroic, itinerant musician. I envy your position, the people said to me. And the girls who I once knew now vacation in Kentucky. They say you're out on the west coast and my God, you're lucky. And the old ladies who I work with left me behind and moved on up to the 15th floor. I sit at home drunk, watching the record player spin. You get what you want, and then you want some more.
2, 3, 4.
There's fun bands living underground, composing songs that you'll never hear until Valeria's hereafter. You can buy a new amp, send a letter home to Gramps confessing now you've neglected the essentials. The band next door's got our sound. Getting easier, not harder to believe. It's getting easier, not harder to believe. The Great Depression's all it takes to drive you further west. The Great Depression is all it takes. Set the grass on fire, it's full of snakes. That the war resume.
eat beef jerky. Beef jerky makes me wanna smoke a cigarette. It's bad for you now, but tomorrow you won't remember the sunlight in your eyes as you head off to the moon. And I'm a rock star, practicing my guitar in my room. But you better show up soon. I gotta go to bed early to sustain my Pauline. I gotta go to bed early to sustain my Pauline. The kids in the forest, the ears fall asleep, trying to follow the sun tide. America's the place to be. If you need anything, you know where you'll find me. There was never anyone cooler than Julie Stammerman's brother. His body's in the band. They were so good looking, you never would have had a shot at any of them. There was never anyone cooler than Julie Stammerman's brother. And his body's in the band. They were so good looking, even girls in college lied about having made it with them. And now they're paramedics who jump out of airplanes, and they can still play all those old songs without ever making a mistake. The American way of life has got to be protected. The American way of life has got to be protected. The American way of life has got to be protected. heart is broken. You're asleep. No point in staying up late. The dirty socks go in the duffel bag. The clean socks go in that milk crate. The economic outlook doesn't look great. And secretaries grow weary of their responsibilities, and they reconsider the commitments they've made. And secretaries grow weary of their responsibilities, and they reconsider the career possibilities. In my dreams, the vice president falls hopelessly in love with me, based entirely on the speed at which I die. And in my dreams, the vice president falls hopelessly in love with me, based entirely on the efficiency of the new filing system. I hoped it'd be you. I hoped it'd be you. She says, I hoped it'd be you. I hoped it'd be you. Rodeo Kids, everything you do is beautiful. Reading free newspapers each day. Rodeo Kids, you'll make all the right decisions. You pioneered the modern age quite by accident, you say. Rodeo Kids, if you wanna live the life you dreamed of, you've got to earn the cash it takes. Rodeo Kids, you'll make all the right decisions. Loaded championship horses on airplanes, and movie stars caught the better of the lives we lead. See them out on the street, trying to walk just like we do. And movie stars caught the better of the lives we lead. The ones exempt, not even a sloppy asshole like you. If you were just reading the zines, you might have thought it was a great big scene, but Robbie knew every bunker in Des Moines. Not all of their names, but their faces, 'cause he saw them at the shows. And if some frat boys were beating him up by the side of the